I'm Janelle, and today we're going to incorporate a little twisting in our practice today. So you might want to have a block or two, or if you have a book or a nice firm pillow nearby, that might be helpful to bring the floor a little bit closer to you in our twisting practice. So go ahead and find yourself in a nice easy seat here. Tall spine, shoulders over the hips. Bring those shoulders up to your ears and give them a big squeeze, and then allow them to just settle down the back. And then draw the shoulders slightly behind. Find the crown of the head nice and tall. Maybe have your hands on your lap, or you can just have your hands in any position that feels nice for the shoulders here. So feel into that for a moment. Maybe close the eyes or take a soft gaze on the floor. And just notice yourself breathing here, nice and tall. And today we're going to begin with our 3-part Durga breath. On your next inhale, go ahead and breathe really deep into the lower lobes. Feel the belly expand, ribs stretch, sip air all the way up into the collarbones. And then a nice long exhale, draw the belly button into the spine. Just take a few of these big deep breaths and notice as we're coming into the space, if you have any areas maybe in the neck, the shoulders, elbows, wrists, knees, or hips that maybe are speaking to you here. It takes sometimes just a few breaths and stillness, and the body will begin to give you some signals on what might need a little extra attention, maybe a little extra opening. And we'll be here for about another 8 deep rounds of breath with your 3 count. Let the shoulders relax down the back. Noticing how the mind is here today. You might notice thoughts coming up. And we don't have to attach to those thoughts at all. That's what the mind does. We just observe things as they float across the movie screen of the mind and let them float away. And just bring your attention to that 3 count inhale and that 3 count exhale. Let's take about 3 more rounds of breath here. Nice. Take 1 more deep inhale. Long, complete exhale. If the eyes are closed, go ahead and flutter them open. And then we're going to inhale those arms up nice and tall. And we're going to take a twist to the right. I'll be opposite you. So go ahead and take that left hand towards the right knee. Right hand is right behind that lower back. Press into that right hand. Get some lift here, shoulders down the back. Exhale, explore that twist in the spine towards your right. So the eye gaze might just stay with a neutral neck here if that feels okay. Or you can start maybe exploring a little deeper sensation in the upper spine by taking the chin slightly behind you and feel into that left trap. Stay here for 3 deep breaths. So we're still tall through the crown of the head, drawing that tall. We're not leaning back or forward. We're just twisting right from that mid-thoracic spine. 1 more deep breath. If you have the head behind, go ahead and inhale forward with the chin first, and then that whole spine will unravel here. Nice. Take a deep breath up. And then we're exhale to the other side. So the right palm comes to the left knee, left hand right behind the spine. Use that left hand as a kickstand to get some length, and then start to explore your twists here to your left. Notice how that right trap feels. Drop that right shoulder. Maybe exploring the chin, guiding back towards that left shoulder. Tall through the spine. 3 big breaths here. One more inhale. Nice long exhale. Inhale that chin back forward, and then that spine will follow. Good. Go ahead and take a couple breaths here. Just let that spine reset. Inhale all the way up. Exhale down to heart center. Good. Third eye to the sky. Exhale, arms nice and wide. Travel all the way to the floor. One more inhale all the way up. And down to heart center. Tall spine, deep breathing. Inhale, third eye to the sky. And exhale, bring those hands down. Good. So from here, we're going to start to come forward, keeping a nice long spine. Bring your hands to the ground, or if you need to have a block here, just start to bend into the elbows a little bit. Let that lower back open up. And just melt the heart towards the floor. We're keeping the glutes attached to the mat here, keeping a long spine, shoulders drawing down the back. If your forearms make it to the earth, think about drawing that spine a little further in front of you, shoulders down the back, by pressing the forearms and the palms into the earth. Again, the glutes are still here on the mat. We're just breathing into this nice long spine. If you want, you can take maybe just little tiny incremental movements left and right and feel into that space that's opening up here in the back side. Take one more inhale. Long exhale. Inhale, slowly stack the spine, one vertebra at a time. And then we're going to try switching the legs here. So if you have one leg crossed in front, you're going to go ahead and take the opposite. You might be stacked knees, you might be half lotus, wherever you are. Inhale, nice and tall. And then exhale, come forward on this side. Feel into that hip now that's stacked either on top or in front. Still long spine. Let the forearms melt. We're melting the sternum towards the floor, keeping a long spine, glutes on the mat. And we breathe here. Again, you can take maybe a little bit of movement left and right, getting into that lower quadrant of the back that's now being stretched with this opposite leg. Good. Take one more deep breath in. Nice long exhale. And inhale, slowly draw yourself up tall. Good. So now we're going to take this left leg and we're going to bring it up to the top left corner of our mat. We're going to take this right foot and send it to the inside of that left leg. And then you're going to take your shoulders and just take them a little bit towards your right. So your hips are now lined over your shoulders. We have a little bit of an angle here. Bring the back of that left hand to the inside of the left leg. Keep flexion in that left foot. Inhale that right arm up. And then start to glide down the inside of that left leg with the left hand. It doesn't matter how far you go. Try to keep the shoulders in line with the hips here. So if you're coming forward, then maybe just back out of that a little bit so that you can keep that nice alignment in between the shoulders and the hips. And we're reaching long through the right fingertips. Just find the lean here. Feel the big stretch along the intercostal muscles on the right side. You can let the head be in line with the spine here, or you might let the left ear maybe fall a little bit towards the left shoulder, feeling into that right shoulder and trap. Still breathing nice and deep. Take a big breath in here. And then those right obliques will draw us all the way back up. Now take that left hand to that left knee. Again, plant the right hand behind you. Big inhale. Exhale, find that twist to the right again. Now you might find that pressing that sole of the right foot into the left thigh, you're going to get a little bit more sensation there. Keep flexion in that left foot. Tall through the spine, pressing into that right palm, shoulders gliding down. Maybe chin glides to the back of the room. Big deep breaths here. Nice. One more inhale. Exhale, if the chin is behind, draw it first forward and then come all the way back up. Now we'll take that right knee and bend it nice and close to the glute with that right heel, and then straighten that left leg nice and long. Go ahead and take that left arm around the right shin. Again, plant that right palm right behind that right glute. Flexion in the left foot. Press into that right palm. and find a little deeper twist this time. Now you can stay right here, just guiding that right knee to the midline. If you have this in your practice where you could take that right elbow to the outside, you can try that. Some of you guys might have a bind here. We're not quite warm yet, but if you have a bind, you can bring that hand around, which would be around the front of the calf. Then you would take this right hand and find the fingers if that's in your practice. But we're not quite there yet today. Take a couple more breaths. Feel that compression of the abdomen into that inner right thigh here. Deep inhale. Exhale if the head is behind. Draw it forward. Release that side and come all the way back to neutral. Take that right leg all the way up to the corner of the mat. Left foot to the inside. So this is called Janel here. And then we're going to turn those shoulders a little bit towards our left so that we're aligned over the hips. Back of that right hand to the inside of the right leg. Inhale, left arm up, and then guide yourself down the inside of that leg. Shoulders in line with hips. Reach through those left fingertips. Think about rolling that heart open to the ceiling so we're not collapsing in the front of the body here. Again, the head can remain in line with the spine, or you can maybe drop that right ear just a little bit. You'll feel again into that left shoulder and trap if that is happening for you today. Each side might be a little different. We're just breathing. Take one more big breath. Good. Exhale. Come all the way up nice and tall. Plant that left hand right behind the spine. Right hand to the left knee. Inhale, press into that left palm. Flexion in that right foot. And find your twist on this side. So really think about letting that right shoulder dangle loose here so we're not wearing it like an earring in that right ear. Trying to make as much space between the ear and the neck as we can. Maybe the chin is gliding behind. Maybe you keep a neutral gaze depending on how the neck feels on this side. We're still tall here, just breathing. One more big breath. Exhale if the head is behind, draw it forward, and then let that whole spine travel. And then we'll take that left knee, plant that left foot like you're trying to stand on it here, straightening that right leg right in front. Right arm comes around that left shin, left hand right behind the spine. Press into that left palm, get some length. Use the leverage of that left knee and the midline of the body to create the twist here. Again, you can stay right here, or maybe the elbow comes to the outside of the knee. You might have a bind on this side. Do what's in your practice here. Deep breathing. So these twists are really beneficial for our lymphatic system. So our blood is always pumping through the heart and the whole system, cleaning the blood. But our lymphatic system only gets toxins squeezed out of it by either inversions or twisting. So this is really beneficial to clean that. Take one more deep breath. Exhale if the chin is behind. Draw it forward, and then let that whole spine unravel. Let both legs go long on the mat. Give a little tap behind the knees. We'll prepare for one nice forward fold here. So flexion in the feet. Place the palms down next to your hips, fingers face forward. Press into those palms, get as much length in the spine as you can. Really engage your quadriceps here. See if maybe you can get the heels to lift off of your mat. Shoulders, again, are down, slightly behind you. And then draw the belly button into the spine and maybe a little slight tuck of the chin. Very, very strong staff pose. Take 5 deep breaths here. See if there's any muscles that you're not incorporating and turn those on. You might even find a little shake here. We're just heating the body from the inside out as we prepare for our forward folding. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms up. And then you can have a bend in the knees here if you need it. Otherwise, a micro bend behind the knees and just find your first forward fold. Feel into those hamstrings, feel into the lower back, Shoulders gliding down, crown of the head is long. So if you don't make it to the feet, you can stay right here on the ankles, you can be on the thighs, it doesn't matter. If you're really having a hard time getting down, just bring the knees towards you. You can stay here for your forward fold, you can even wrap arms behind. So lots of options here. We're gonna stay here for another 5 deep breaths, wherever you are. Keep the breath as even and long on the inhale as the exhale. Beautiful. One more deep breath in. Long, complete exhale. On the inhale, stack one vertebra at a time, coming up nice and tall. Good. So we're going to incorporate now all that stuff we just opened into a twist. Bend that left knee and take your left hand to the outside of that right foot. And then just start to lean back just so you can find that little hinge point where you feel nice and tall, and then you're kind of on your tailbone here where you feel like you have that little pivot. And then maybe start to straighten that leg. You can keep a bend in the knee. You can straighten that leg all the way out. Or you can start to take that right hand behind you. Maybe eye gaze goes towards that right hand. So if I give you the sideways version here, you're staying either right here. Maybe you fly that right hand. Maybe you can start to straighten that right leg. Maybe the eye gaze will start to go back towards that right hand. A little bit of a balance posture here. You're incorporating your core, getting a nice stretch in the leg, across the chest. Focus and eye gaze is towards the fingers if that feels all right for the neck. Take 2 more deep breaths. Nice. If the head is back, bring it forward first. Go ahead and release that side and give it a little tap. Now we'll try the other side. So go ahead and draw that left knee in, outside of the left foot with the right hand behind. Find that little hinge where you feel like you're balanced here on your tailbone, and then figure out where that left leg wants to go. Maybe you're here, stay and breathe. Maybe you can straighten that leg. Maybe you can start to fly that left arm behind you. Maybe the eye gaze will follow wherever you are, staying tall in the spine here, so we're not leaning forward, we're not leaning back. We're breathing deeply. Beautiful. Take one more breath. On the exhale, allow the focus to come forward. If the gaze is back, release that side. Awesome job, you guys. So come on up into your tabletop position here. If you need to pad up the knees, you can use a blanket or you can use your mat. Let your hands be right underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, tip head and tail up. Let the belly just kind of round here for your cow pose. Draw the shoulders down the back. Exhale as you round through the spine. Press the floor away. Pull the belly button in. So you can have your eyes open or closed as you roll through a few of these. We're trying to connect the breath with the movement. This is a really beautiful way to reset the spine or just open the spine any time of day. Finding all those little areas as you flex and extend that whole spinal column that might need a little extra love. You can dangle there and wiggle however you need to. Good. Take one more breath in each direction. Nice. And then come to that neutral spine. We're going to thread the needle here by placing that left hand right underneath the face. We're going to spiral open with that right arm. Get a nice rotation in the spine here. The arm might be all the way up here. It might be halfway. Just find that space. Take a big breath in. And then thread this right arm underneath your body. Keep rotating until you can bring the right shoulder head and the right ear down to the earth. If you can't, you bring your head all the way down, you might land on a block or a blanket here. We just want to have that shoulder and the ear attached to something so we have a little leverage to open that up. So you can keep this right hand here and just press that open. You can take this right arm up to the ceiling, maybe take a little baby bind behind the lower back. So just be here and breathe wherever you are. Try to soften into that right shoulder. Feel that nice stretch along that right lat. Take one more deep breath in. Nice long exhale. Go ahead and bring that right hand back to the earth, left hand back to the earth, and bring that right hand down. Good. Go ahead and give yourself any kind of wiggles you need here. Take a cat-cow. Inhale, tip it up. Exhale, round. And inhale back to neutral. We'll take that threading the needle on the opposite side. So center that right hand and spiral the left open. Doesn't matter how far, just feel that opening here. Take a big breath in. And then thread that left arm under. Keep reaching the left fingers to the right of the room to rotate the left shoulder head and the left ear down to your mat. And then here, decide if you want to just stay pressing into that right palm or maybe that little bind behind the back. If you have bind here, you're trying to roll that right shoulder head up towards the ceiling to get that opening in that right pec. Relax the head, relax the shoulders, and breathe. Take one more deep breath in. Nice long exhale. If you have that bind, release that right hand to the mat and press yourself up. Let's take a cat-cow, realign that spine. Inhale, tip it up. And exhale, round. Good. Coming into neutral here. Go ahead and curl your toes under, spread your fingers nice and wide. We're going to come into downward facing dog. So press the floor away, straight, strong arms. Start to straighten the legs. And then once your legs are nice and straight, try to send your heels back towards the mat. They might not touch, it's okay. Just send them there. And then you can walk your dog out here. So your feet should be about hip width apart. You're letting your head dangle loosely between your biceps. You're pressing firmly into all 10 fingertips and every area of the palm that you can mush into your mat. And then as you maybe dangle here, you can even bend the knees and come up, send the heels down, maybe tippy toes. Just make any kind of wiggles you need to. And then when you're ready to find a little stillness here, let the heels descend to the floor. If you're here and those shoulders are getting really heated and you want to take a little break, go ahead and just drop the knees down for a few moments and then come back in. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. Nice. Go ahead and center that left leg. Raise that right leg up nice and tall. For 1 deep breath here. And as you exhale, draw that knee to the nose, start to shift forward, and see if you can land that right foot right in between the hands. Go ahead and drop that left knee down, flatten the top of that left foot. So make sure that we have that right knee right over the right ankle here. And then we're going to take this right hand and place it on top. All right, so you can stay right here if you want to. You can start to twist by pressing that right palm into the top of that right thigh, really sinking into that left hip flexor here. You can feel a nice big opening there. Staying here, maybe eye gaze back, or if you want, you can get a nice little opening for that left quadricep by bending that left knee so the left heel comes towards the glute. Maybe you can release that right hand and reach back and grab a hold of either the left heel, top of the left foot, and breathe. One more breath. If you have that foot, go ahead and release. Good, and then from here, bring your hand to the inside and just step that foot all the way back. And find that cat-cow here to redo the spine. Inhale, tip it up. Exhale, round it out. Inhale to neutral. Just notice now how it feels between the left and the right side. And we're gonna try to even that out. So curl your toes, press into the earth, find your downward facing dog here for a moment. Maybe walking it out again, make any little wiggles you need to. Find some stillness, take 3 deep breaths. Let that head dangle. Good, go ahead and center that right foot. Raise that left leg all the way up. Take a deep breath here. And then draw that left knee in. And then see if you can set that foot. If you need to scooch that foot up between the hands, you can assist it here. And then take that right knee down. Flatten the top of the right foot. And then from here, if you need that block underneath that right hand, go ahead and take that. Take that left hand to the top of the left thigh. Make sure you have that knee aligned over the left ankle here. We can have it behind. We just don't want it to be in front to keep that knee safe. And then we'll explore a little twist on this side. So start to press maybe into the top of that left leg as you rotate towards your left. And then you can stay here. Let the weight of the body sink into this right hip flexor. You're getting a nice big opening there. And then you also have that option on this side if you want to take that little more stretch for the quad. Bend that right knee towards the glute. Maybe reach back. See if you can get a hold of the foot. Eye gaze can be anywhere it feels good for you. And wherever you are, we're going to breathe here. Feel all those little stabilizer muscles that are keeping you in this space. Notice the focus, notice the breath. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release that side. Go ahead and take that left hand to the inside, bring it back. Find your tabletop, take a cat-cow. Exhale, round. Come into neutral and just take a child's pose here. Maybe wide knees to the edge of your mat. Let your big toes touch and let the glutes slide back. You can bring those hands nice and long overhead. Let the forehead come in contact with the mat. If your shoulders need a little break here, you can always take the shoulders down and drape them around the outsides of the thighs. So make any little adjustments you need so that you can take 5 deep breaths here and reset. Let the heart rate come down if it's elevated. This is a nice grounding posture, so just feel yourself really rooted here through the tops of the feet, shins and knees, all the way to the forehead. One more big breath. On the exhale, if the arms are down, go ahead and bring them long overhead. Come into that tabletop, knees come underneath the hips, and we're going to find downward dog again. Curl the toes, press the floor away, find your downward facing dog. Maybe a couple little wiggles here before we settle. Good, go ahead and center that left foot. Raise that right leg up nice and tall. Take a big breath in. Draw that knee to the nose as you shift forward. Plant that foot right between the hands. And then we're going to keep that left foot lifted here. And inhale, you can bring your hands right to that upper right thigh. Or if you want to take a full-on lunge, just make sure that that ankle is aligned under the knee again, coming into high lunge. So press back through that left heel, nice and strong in that left quad here so that leg isn't just dangling there. And the shoulders are releasing down the back, plugging the fingers into the sky. Take a deep breath here. And then on the exhale, go ahead and straighten that front leg, plant that left foot down. Take a big breath. And as you exhale, come into your pyramid pose. Good. So we're going to stay right here for a few breaths. Your hands might come to your shin. They can come to a block or the earth. Keep thinking of drawing that right hip behind you to get as much length in the back of this right hammy. Think about rooting into that right big toe and drawing that forehead down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, plant that left hand here. You can have a block if you need to bring the floor closer, and then rotate open with this right arm. Again, it might be here. It might rotate all the way to the ceiling. Eye gaze can follow. Eye gaze can stay neutral for your neck. Do what feels good for you here. So drishti, your focus here, is really important in these standing twists. If you're looking at something that's moving, it's gonna make you wobble. Take one more breath. Exhale, bring that right hand down. Move your prop out of the way. Bend that left knee, step that left foot up to meet the right. Take an inhale, find a flat back. Exhale, fold. Good, just let yourself dangle. Feel the difference between the left and the right side. Good, deep breath in. Nice long exhale. And then inhale, half back. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step all the way back to downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale, center that right foot. Stretch that left leg straight on back, three-leg dog. Keep sinking that right heel towards the mat. Reaching those left toes to the sky, even weight in the shoulders and hands. Head is heavy. One more breath. Exhale, draw that left knee in towards the midline. Keep coming forward, and then plant that left foot. Find your alignment here. You might need to wiggle that right leg back a little bit, so we're coming into high lunge. Inhaling, maybe you just come to your knee here and settle. Maybe you reach all the way up. Sink into that right hip flexor. Knee and heel alignment in that left foot. Take a peek. Keep pressing back through that right heel. Strong in the right quad. Take one more breath. Good. Exhale, go ahead and straighten that left leg. Plant that right foot. If you need to, step that right foot up just a little bit here. Inhale, and then exhale, come into a fold for pyramid. Take your time. So you might be up here. That's fine. Just be wherever you can reach. If you need to use props here, you can use your props. Keep reaching the crown of the head, straightening that left hip to the back of the room. Mound of that big left toe is rooted into the mat. One more deep breath. Good. Twisting on this side, either right hand to the block or the earth. Inhale, rotate it open. Watch the eye gaze. See where you need that to land on this side. Core is engaged and strong here. Really rooted into the feet and that right hand. The crown of the head is reaching forward. Left hip is reaching back. Find that nice even breath. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly bring yourself all the way back down. Bend into that left knee, step that right foot up to meet the left. Inhale to a half back. Exhale, fold, let that go. Let the head just be heavy. Good, take one more breath. Nice long exhale. Little bend in the knees, reverse swan dive. So look forward, nice flat back, arms come wide. Press into the feet, come all the way up to the peak of the mountain. And exhale the hands into heart center. Good, go ahead and find mountain pose here for a moment. You can keep your thumbs on the sternum, or you might want to take your hands down to your sides and straighten out your shirt. So reach your fingertips towards the earth. Let your shoulders glide down and back. Feel everything in the upper body lifting up. Feel everything in the lower body rooting into the mat. Press your feet down and away from each other. Engagement in the legs, engagement in the core. Tailbone slightly down towards the heels. Crown of the head is nice and tall. Take one more deep breath. Nice long exhale. Good. From here, we're going to take this right foot. We're going to send it all the way to the back of our mat. And we're going to bend into that left knee and find warrior two here. So now we're going to face the right wall. Left hand's coming forward, right hand is coming back. That knee can be anywhere right over or behind the ankle. Find your edge. Make sure you're rooting into the outer edge of that back right foot and that right quad is on. And then you might want to flip your palms and just release the shoulders a little bit and sink back in. Good. Take about 3 deep breaths here. One more inhale. On your exhale, you're going to reach forward as far as you can. Bring that left elbow to the inside of the knee. You can bring that left hand to a block or the earth. Inhale that right arm up. Good. And then maybe explore a little bind here with that right arm. So bring that right arm behind the back. Roll that right shoulder head to the ceiling. You can stay right here. You might be able to take a little bind. Maybe that left arm will come underneath the body and the hands can find each other. And then think about lifting up and away from this left thigh so we're not dumping into it. We're trying to keep some space here underneath those left ribs and the left thigh. And we breathe. Take one more breath. Nice. Go ahead and exhale, release. Inhale all the way back up into that warrior two position. And then straighten that front leg. And then go ahead and let those hips square to the front of the room. Bring that left foot in line with that left hip. And then from here, we're going to reverse that. So just come down into that left knee again. Bring the right elbow to the outside. Bring the hands to heart center. And then twist towards the left. So we can stay here with hands in prayer. We can take the left hand maybe to the earth or the block. Raise that left arm up. And you can also try a little bind here if that's in your practice. Wherever you are, 3 deep breaths in this twist. Big breath in. Exhale, slowly come up and out of that. And step that right foot up to meet the left. Nice. Take a big breath in. Exhale through center. Take one more cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale through center. And we're going to try that same thing on the other side. So take that left foot all the way back. Find warrior two on this side. Deep bend in that front knee. Rooting into that back left foot. Make sure you can see your big toe from the inside of that right knee. So if that knee's tracking, you want to squeeze that knee towards the right. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. Find that drishti gaze, that focus over that right middle finger. Crown of the head is still tall. Shoulders are right over the hips. Take one more breath. On your exhale, reach it forward, finding either the elbow to the inside of that right leg, left arm up. You can bring it down to a block or the earth. Good. And then you can stay here and just breathe. Or you can rotate, open that left shoulder head, bring in the hand to the lower back and roll open. If you're here and you have the bind, that right arm will come underneath. And then make that space between that right thigh and the right rib cage as you rotate open. And find the breath. This is where the breath starts to get short. We're doing a lot here. We're holding in a balanced posture as we twist. Take one more breath. Exhale, release that side. Inhale, come back to that warrior two. Then we're just going to step that left foot up so we can square the hips back to the front of the room. Keep that nice bend in that front knee, and we're going to twist to the other side. Left elbow is going to come to the outside of that right leg. Stay as deep here as you can. Bring the hands into prayer. Each side will be different. Maybe you stay right here on this side, or if you have that release of the hands, I'm going to stay right here on this side today. Eye gaze can be wherever you need it to be. Keep breathing. Beautiful. One more breath. Exhale, eye gaze forward. Slowly come all the way up and step that left foot up to meet the right. Nice job, you guys. Inhale. And exhale through center. Good. One more time. Inhale. And exhale to center. All right. I think we're ready for the peak pose, which will be our half moon and twisted half moon. So this one can be tricky. If you have a wall available at home, it's really nice to use the wall. You can have your warrior two with your back against the wall, and then you can use this as a prop to slide and just stay propped, and you'll feel and imprint that nice opening in the body here, and you have that support so that you don't wobble. So if you want to try that one at home, go for it. Otherwise, I would highly recommend a block. I'm going to come sideways for this one and have your warrior two. That block is going to be up by the right big toe, and you might have to kind of shuffle it around a little bit once you get into this. So find your warrior two first on your right. Take a breath in. On the exhale, start to come into that half moon, bringing the hand to the block or the earth in front of that right foot. It kind of helps sometimes to take that left hand to the left hip and then just kind of hop that left foot up. You might have to slide that right hand a little forward. And then finally, you're going to lift that left leg. This is where you're going to see, if you're on the wall, it sure comes in handy for balance. If you're not on the wall, you're trying to keep the left foot in line with the hip, flexion in that foot, left hand will come up. And then once you land here, think about keep rotating that left hip up to the ceiling. This is where the eye gaze really is important. So if you're looking down at the ground, it's going to be easier, if that's something in your practice, to bring the eye gaze to the center, or maybe eye gaze will go all the way up. It's a big one. And some of you guys might be there. I'm going to come out. You might be able to grab onto that left foot. So take 3 more deep breaths wherever you are. Good. One more breath. Go ahead and take that left hand down, and we're going to rotate our half moon. So now either that left hand comes to a block, the hips are going to square back off, and then you're going to take that right arm up. Follow with the eye gaze or not, whatever's in your practice. Keep that left leg lifted. Keep reaching through the right fingertips. Keep breathing. One more breath. Nice. Exhale, slowly land everything down. Left foot comes to meet the right. Inhale to half back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. And exhale to heart. Woo, that's a big move, eh? Let's do it on the other side. So I'll come sideways again on this side. We'll use our block. Find your warrior two on your left. So deep bend in that left knee, or come to the wall here. Find warrior two just for a moment. And then we're going to start to reach forward. Bring that left hand down to the earth or a block, right hand on the hip. Eye gaze stays down here first till we get our bearings. So go ahead and lift that right leg and then rotate that hip up to the ceiling. You can move this hand around wherever you need it, and then maybe release that right arm up. Keep flexion like you're standing on that wall behind you with that right foot. And then the eye gaze might come up, or it might not. Each side is going to be different depending on the day, what you had for breakfast, how you slept, all that stuff. If you want to bend the knee here and grab the foot, go for it. Take one more breath. Nice. On the exhale, you're going to take that left hand down, straighten out the hips, and then you're going to take that left arm and twist your half moon. Think long line through the spine from the crown of the head out through the back of that right foot. Good. Woo! One more breath. We got this. And exhale, let it go. Bring that right leg up to meet the left. And inhale, bring it all the way up. Coming back with you. Exhale through the heart. Take one more inhale. Exhale through heart. Good. Let's come on down through yogi toe squat. So bring your thumbs to your sternum. Think about sliding the back down the back wall. The heels lift. You come onto the balls of the toes. Knees will probably crack. Then we'll hang here for just a few breaths. And when you're ready, go ahead and take your hands down. Land your glutes. We're going to come all the way down to the back. So I'm going to come sideways here. Go ahead and make your way all the way down. If you have a block handy, you can bring it with you. Bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a little rock, a little back massage, maybe a little roll. Good. So from here, we're going to take legs up the wall. So you can either just bring legs straight up. If you want a little bit more and you have a pillow or a block, then plant your feet. Keep the block on the flat part here. Raise your hips up and bring that block right under the tailbone. And then when you feel like you're nice and supported here, bring those legs straight on up. Let the arms just come wide. This is a really nice way to bring the heart rate back down, lowers our blood pressure. Let the head and shoulders be heavy on the mat. If you came on a block and this doesn't feel good for your lower back, then take that out and come on down to your spine. Reverse all the blood flow in the legs here. Another benefit for the lymphatic system. We'll stay here for about another 5 deep rounds of breath. Nice. Inhale. Long, complete exhale. Go ahead and bend the knees. If you have that block under you, just plant the feet, press the hips up so you can remove that block. Put that away. Draw those knees back to the chest. And we'll finalize this practice with a nice deep twist. So if you want to take twisted root here, maybe you cross that right knee over the left. You can stay here, or you might be able to tuck the toes behind that left ankle. Bring the arms out nice and wide. Take a deep breath in here, and then start to take those knees over towards your left. So if you're coming here and it's too much of a twist and that right shoulder head's popping up, you can take a block underneath, or maybe it's just a little too much. You can undo the knees and keep them stacked. So if you have that twisted root here, you're going to have a lot more sensation in the stretch and the lower back. Maybe the eye gaze comes towards that right hand. So wherever you are, just take a few cleansing breaths here in this twist. One more inhale. Long exhale. Go ahead and bring those legs back through center. Untwist if you had to twist. Realign the spine for a moment. Maybe a little rock. We'll try that on the other side. If you're taking twisted root on this side, maybe you have the bind with the feet, maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to stay with your knees stacked on this one. Arms come wide, take a big inhale. And then exhale, take those knees over towards you, right? Allow the back to soften. That left shoulder head stays attached to the mat. Maybe the eye gaze goes towards that extended hand to get that complete twist from the top of the spine all the way to the tail. Try to soften all those areas that might still be gripping and holding tension here. Take one more deep breath. Nice long exhale. Inhale, bring everything back through center. Undo the legs, draw the knees in. Maybe draw some nice big circles on the ceiling. Give that lower back a nice release and massage. And these are free massage. Can't beat that. Take those knees the opposite direction a couple rounds. And then from here, go ahead and find your final resting pose. So it might be knees planted. You can walk the feet wide, let the knees knock to center. If you have lower back stuff or if it's flared up here, you can stay here. You can let your legs go long. You can take a bolster or a pillow and put it underneath your thighs if that feels good. So wherever you are, just wiggle yourself into a place of stillness. And you don't have to be on your back either. If you want to come and sit in your final resting posture, or you can do side or belly, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then just let your eyes soften and allow your body to take on its natural breathing rhythm once again here. The eyes can be open or closed. Notice the sensations that are traveling through the whole body from all of that twisting that you just did today. All of those tight little crevices and spaces that we unlocked and opened and breathed into. You might feel a little tingly sensation. And then notice the mind. Noting where your thoughts are here and perhaps what may have shifted from when we first came to our mat. Notice the gentle movement of the breath in and out of the body. The gentle expanding and releasing of each breath. Noting the weight of the head, the shoulders, the arms and hands. The weight of the torso completely supported here. Drawing attention down towards the pelvis, legs, and feet. And maybe notice where you find the edges of you here, where you end and where the rest of the world begins. Noticing the space out front of you and behind you, the left side of you and the right side. The area above you and below you. Noting the whole body floating here in this space. the whole body resting, releasing, and letting go. And you can stay here just following your breath for as long as you need to today. Namaste.